So the last segment of what I wanted to get into, I've already recorded a video on this. I'll make sure that I link it, but there is this thing called the partnership. The partnership is fantastic. I've talked to Nicole Bank, the founder and creator of this. What it is that you go in and you can check out different free articles. You can look at their current contents. You'll get different journals. Think about this as a curated place to find information. So current contents in ABA is something that I subscribe to. It is an annual subscription to be able to do this. I don't get a cut or anything out of this. I just want to tell you like where I'm finding this stuff from. It is fantastic. I'm not going to show you the actual product, but imagine an Excel sheet that is sent to your inbox that says, here's what we found related to behavior analysis. Here's the link, the title, the authors, the journal. You decide whether or not you want to click in. They tell you whether or not it's a free article or not. That's where I find this information. The two articles that I wanted to point out to everyone real quick, though, are a couple that just seemed really fascinating. So, first of all, and I made sure to pick ones that are accessible. You don't have to pay for, so they're open access. Okay. So, first of all, a couple articles that came out. European Journal of Behavior Analysis. If you don't know about it, fantastic journal. I've got the hiccups, so bear with me here. And they have a systematic review of behavior analytic processes and procedures for conditioning reinforcers. Oh, I need to share the screen. All right. So in the European Journal of Behavior Analysis, they have a systematic review of behavior analytic processes and procedures for conditioning reinforcers among individuals with autism, developmental or intellectual disability. So I know that people talk about pairing a lot. How do we pair? How do we condition new reinforcers? And this is a thing that is extremely important, as we know, for every practitioner, that we are effectively pairing. Now, there's 4 different ways in which they start to categorize how people develop these sort of conditioned reinforcers. So this is one to definitely go check out, and it's definitely important to check out because it's a systematic review. They've gathered the research for you to say, here's what seems to be working, here's some of the limitations, and here's what to go check out. Or here's what we should be researching and checking out next. So I'm going to share this really quickly with you all in the comment. Yes, I can actually link you live to these. I don't know if these work. Yeah, hopefully these work. But the other one that is like related that I thought was really interesting so there's an open access. So if you click PDF on that link that I just sent you, you're going to be able to click in and check it out. This one is on the psychological record. This one's not open access. Sorry. So there's your free one. But the other one that I think is super important, and where I wanted to point you all to, because he does have other work that is out there, is Doug Greer's work. I've highlighted his book, Verbal Behavior Analysis, on this channel before, but there seems to be a pretty cool discussion going on in reinforcers, how we shape and alter reinforcer classes. And I wanted to read this abstract to you because this is really fascinating stuff. So he says, decades of research show what we know about learned reinforcers as the selectors of behavior constitutes a significant advancement in behavior analysis. So he describes how learning of new reinforcers results in new operants, including verbal operants and verbal developmental cusps, as well as the potential to build still other reinforcers. The lack of a particular type of reinforcer or unlimited community reinforcers is the root resource of many problems in applied work and sources of complex relations in the basic science. In cases where the relevant reinforcers are present, building behavior is the solution. However, when relevant reinforcers are not present, the use of prosthetic reinforcers does not solve the real problem. In the later case, the solution is to build new reinforcers. Behaviors will follow. I cite decades of work in food preference, musical taste, social reinforcers, and the identification and establishment of verbal developmental cusps that show how identifying and building new reinforcers expands what our science can do. The establishment of a rich community of socially significant positive reinforcers is life-altering. So, if you haven't checked out Doug Greer's work, and the reason I wanted to kind of point to this, unfortunately it's paywalled. I don't think you can get through it if you have your BACB account either. is that the work that Doug Greer et al. Have been doing for the last like 20, 30, 40 years is absolutely fascinating. And what I think is really cool here is he's providing an alternative view of maybe it's not the behavior aspect that we need to be focusing on as much of like teaching these new skills as it is that we need to be focusing on establishing and creating new reinforcers, because what that does is that actually leads to cusps and it starts to lead to the behaviors following. So it's a very different approach, I think, than what are the skills I need to teach as to what are the reinforcers I need to teach and condition. So if you haven't checked out his work, there's a lot out there. Doug Greer, I'm sure he's got a website. He's out of Columbia, really fantastic. But these are a couple articles that I found super interesting. If you haven't already, check out that Nicole Bank piece that I've done, and also check out the link down below that I'm going to tag to go check out and just have that stuff sent to your inbox. I don't have to search for articles, really. I mean, I have to search for certain topics, but like behavior analytic articles show up in my inbox now thanks to that service. It's really fantastic.